What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another day, another episode of the Daily Grind. I'm your host, 30NSG, and on today's show, we're going to be talking about Battlefield 6 players' slam challenges, gating weapons and gadgets unlocks behind atrocious objectives. All right, so it says, and I'm with them. So this is the article from Brandon Lowry from Windows Central. We're also going to watch a video from, excuse me, from the Tactical Brit. He's got an 18-minute long video, so we might watch it like a 1.25 because I talk a lot. I don't know if you guys know this, but he's got some points I heard him say in the video yesterday, so I've seen the video, but we'll make points as we go through. All the links are in the description down below for all the content creators that we are watching on today's show. So because I'm adding stuff to it and pausing it, if you don't want to watch because of the pausing and whatnot, and you want to watch the original video, I suggest you do without my commentary, and you can come back afterwards and watch the commentary afterwards, but the links are in the description down below. Then we're going to watch a video of Arc Raiders. It says Arc Raiders might be peak, but this comes from Darth Microtransaction reacting to the other video, which is also linked in the description down below by Celtic, I believe. Is that how you pronounce it? Is it Celtic? Let me see. I think it's Celtic. Let me look at the I gotta look at the name. I have him is linking that it's Kelsky. All these content creators are way bigger than I am, but we have the links in the description down below. The reason we're watching Darth Microtransactions, what's the word I'm looking for? He's reacting to this guy's channel, right? To his video, because his video is like 52 minutes long. We can't watch all of that. Darth Microtransactions video is 15 minutes long, and I think he shows enough inside of the video to understand what the guy is trying to say. So one's 52 minutes long, one's 15 minutes long, so we're going to watch the 15-minute long one. And if you want to watch the original video or Darth Microtransactions video without any interruptions, you can link in the descriptions down below. What's going on, chat? Morning, Travis. Morning, Eclipse. Jason Marshall. Roic. Wonder Rose, good morning. Argus, good morning. Para, what's going on? Altern, Big Mo, Kylo, Robert Jones, Ray, what's going on? Good morning. How's everyone doing? Hope everyone had a wonderful day. Last night we played Starship Troopers on the console, and I've been enjoying the game for quite a bit for the last like 2-3 weeks. I've been playing it off and on. And last night, it was locking up. Last night, we were playing with people, and all of a sudden, it just crashed. The game's been out for a year and a half. A year and a half on console, I believe. Okay? Or a year. It's been out for almost 2 years for PC, and it still crashes. So it crashed last night, right before the stream. We were in a match for like 45 minutes, and then it crashed, and I got no XP. So we deleted it. We deleted it from our Xbox because that's bullshit. That's bullshit. If your game is still crashing after all this time, then you guys need to fix it. You guys need to fix it. You need to fix it before. But again, I'm not really that pissed off because I didn't buy the game. We were given a code from the developers themselves. And then when they asked for a review from me, I said, I'm not going to give you a review until your game is fixed. And they never fixed it. So you're never going to get a review from me. So that's how it works. If your game is broke, buggy, and unfinished, I will expose it because I will play it and then show you that it's broke, buggy, and unfinished. So it's sad. So if you're going to go buy that game, wait till it goes on a massive sale. Massive sale. But other than that, it's a fun game. It's different, but I'd rather go play Helldivers. And if it's going to, at least if it's going to crash and I lose the XP in Helldivers, at least I still get all the medals, the super credits, and everything else. All right. So, all right. Let's get to the first story, shall we? So, if you guys like what I do, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning until noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. We do this show live. We do a podcast on Thursday nights live. We also do live stream for gameplay over on our other channel, 30 and Still Gaming. And then we have another channel called Nerding with 30, which I haven't really done a lot with. I'm still trying to grow this channel. So if we can get the likes in here, get this pushed out. If you guys are watching this after the fact, they did add a hype button, but doesn't go for live. It only goes for the past broadcast. So if you're watching any of our past broadcasts, you can use the hype button to push that out as well. All right, so I want to gouge my eyes out, it says. Battlefield 6 players slam challenge gating weapons, gadgets, unlocks behind atrocious objectives. Okay. Now, I didn't know about the challenge stuff last night. Yesterday morning, Fate Walker came in and said that these challenges, some of them are just terrible, right? Like, I forget, someone else said, pardon me, I forget who it was, but they said, like, you're trying to go for, like, the sniper rifles, and the maps are not big enough, so you can only do them on certain maps, right? But that's one of the things that you have to do, like 200 meters, but some of the maps are, like, super tiny, and you can't do it on those things. So you have to wait for certain maps to come in the rotation before you can do some stuff. So these are little things that are poking their head in and out of what the game is, right? Battlefield 6, people are saying, oh, Steam numbers through the roof. It's amazing. It's fantastic. I'm having so much fun. And fun and the actual problems in the game are two different things, right? Again, we can all look past things if you like something, right? Marvel's Avengers. Loved Marvel's Avengers, right? 99.9% of the people that saw Marvel's Avengers hated Marvel's Avengers. I liked it. I will never try to fight and say, well, it's a fantastic game. I liked it. I thought it was great. But it was broke, buggy, and it crashed, and I had to wait 2 weeks for it to get fixed so I can even complete the game, okay? But you have to look at it as it's a broken game, okay? There's things broken in this game, even though Battlefield 6 is better than Battlefield 2042, but still not as good as Battlefield 3 or 4 or Battlefield 1, okay? It's better, but not. All right, so due to the unreasonable objectives at launch, the bugs, Battlefield 6 challenges are proving ridiculously difficult to complete. Okay, so it says Electronic Arts' highly anticipated large-scale multiplayer shooter Battlefield 6 is finally here, and so far it's proven to be absolute colossal hit, right? So it doesn't matter. Colossal hit. Forget about it. It's perfect. It's a great game, right? So it says, following a near unanimous stream, positive reviews, and a long-awaited FPS skyrocketed over 750,000 players on Steam alone at launch, with hundreds of thousands of concurrent players on the game around the clock on Xbox, on PC, and PlayStation 5 ever since. Indeed, it's undeniable that Battlefield 6 has been tremendously successful for EA and Battlefield developers during the launch weekend. And you guys know, if it's a hit, it doesn't matter anymore, right? Doesn't matter if it's broke, buggy, or unfinished, because they're just going to move on and be like, we'll get to that later. Everyone's enjoying it what it is right now, okay? And when you say it's broken, buggy, and people are like, I'm having fun, but then later a patch comes out and says they fixed the things. See, everyone's like, see, they fixed it. Yeah, which means it was broke, okay? So it says, and I have no doubt that it will continue to be in the days and weeks and months to come. In fact, it wouldn't be surprised me if the game remains popular for many years. I don't know. Especially with the power of Halo Forge-like custom games, creation mode, portal, and in the hands of fans. It says, with that said, the title isn't without its issues, ranging from Netflix-style menu UI, widely disliked by many of the ceiling bright bloom lighting that makes the spotting engagement enemy players difficult, to standing near a window or a doorway. I don't know why people have a lot of problems with this. They're trying to simulate, like right now, chat, wherever you are, look out your window. Like you're in a room and you look out the window and your eyes take just a second to adjust. Now, obviously, it's much more for a camera than it is for your actual eyes, but there is that thing. And people are upset because the people have the advantage on the outside of a bright building when they're outside and looking into a dark building, right? For the people on the outside, it's hard for them to see inside the building. And the people from the inside, it's hard for them to see outside the building. But everyone's like, this is a problem, right? This is a major problem. I don't really see this as a major problem. I see this as when you're leaving a door, take your time. And when I say take your time, instead of running out of the door in like a half a second, give it 2 clicks and then look out, right? But anyway, perhaps Battlefield 6's biggest problem, though, is the challenges. Gameplay objectives, accomplishments while in the field, daily and weekly challenges are relatively simple and only reward XP and are easily completed in the background as you play. These are fine. Many weapon modes and class-specific challenges, however, have surprisingly difficult or strange objectives that feel poorly thought out or overtuned. Now, a lot of people look at this and say, well, just play the game. You just got to play the game. But listen to the words that they're saying here, right? It's strange objectives that feel poorly thought out or overtuned, right? So the reason that I believe that stuff like this is in the game is because the game doesn't really have that much to offer. It does look like it does, right? Because it's got a lot of different game modes, but a lot of people are not going to play those. It looks like it has Portal, but Portal doesn't really have anything in it as of right now. And the stuff that's in Portal, you got to weed through a lot of the stuff to find the good stuff inside of Portal. Okay? So they're trying to make this difficult to keep you playing longer while you wait for Season 1, while you wait for Battle Royale, while you wait for other people making Space Invaders inside of Portal. Okay? There's a lot of things happening where someone's making a not siphon filter. What's that one? I can't think of it. We talk about it all the time, and I can't even think about it. SOCOM. Someone's making a SOCOM-esque type of game mode inside of Portal right now. They showed a little bit of a clip of it, okay? Like, these are the things that you're waiting for in a Battlefield game, okay? Remind you, we're playing a Battlefield game here, but people want to play Space Invaders. People want to play Call of Duty maps. People want to play SOCOM. They want to play every other game known to man in military games minus Space Invaders instead of playing Battlefield games. Okay, so Battlefield 6 weapons, class, gadgets, making them mandatory if you want to seriously engage with the game's progression system. Okay, it says negative feedback from the community about the current state of challenges has flowed freely since the launch of last Friday, with many of the top posts on Battlefield subreddit right now highlight the issues with gathering criticism. It says, quote, however, came up with this and never played the game ever. This challenge is so atrocious and completely out of mind. I want to gouge my eyes out, asserted one player in a complaint about the Bulletstorm 1, the first challenge for light machine guns. This requires dealing over 10,000 damage while hip firing. Okay, LMGs are horribly inaccurate when hip fire or objective nonsensical. Okay, encouraging players to rush into close quarters and play poorly just to try to achieve his goal. When the way you're supposed to play LMG is supposed to use a cover and spray streams of fire down choke points to suppress and mow down infantry. And remember, suppression, okay, is broke in the game. You get the points, but it doesn't actually suppress anybody. Okay. Close quarters number 1, a challenge to deal the same amount of damage with submachine guns, SMGs, while aiming down their sights as to pose opposite problem. SMGs are fairly accurate when hip fired. And on the move, you also think that it also would want the challenge requires. Instead, it wants you to slow down ADS, which is something better suited for fighting a medium or long range with assault and marksman rifles. The only reason these are in the game is so you would use the game or use the gun in the game. Okay? Remember, the microtransactions are not in the game yet. Okay, so right now you're just trying to unlock the guns. Okay, well, how do we make them use the guns? Well, we got to put stupid things in the game to make you use it, right? I got to aim down the sights of an SMG. I got to hip fire LMG. Okay, when skins start coming into the game and you have to start doing stuff like this is going to make much more sense on why you're doing stuff like this. All right, so some challenges in the unit category are very frustrating as well, such as Conquest 3 and Escalation 4 assignments that require a whopping 30 and 35 kills while playing each mode objective, respectively. Quote, loving the game so far, enjoying immensely, but the challenges are insane, unquote. Commented one shocked player in another top post, quote, I would get it where it's overtime thing, but 30 kills an objective in a single round? Gotta keep playing, get good. Get good. Thankfully, most class-specific challenges tied to unlocking gadgets is far more sensible. However, there's an entirely different issue with them. With this fact, they can also seem to be bugged right now, or tons of fans, myself included. Here's the problem that let me go back up to this real fast. Right? A whopping 35 kills playing each mode objective. Okay? The problem is, it wants 30 kills an objective in a single round. Okay? On objectives in a single round. Now, it's forcing you to run around, but while you're running from point A to point B, you're not killing people on the objective. So then what this is causing is a lot of people just to sit on a spot. Well, if a lot of people are sitting on a spot because they're all trying to get this particular quest done or this challenge done, okay, they're not playing the actual game. They're being manipulated to play a certain way, even though that's not the way Battlefield should be played. If I'm with a group of people, especially randos in the actual game, okay, most people won't even get 30 kills in the actual thing. Okay, most people won't even get 30 kills in the actual thing, let alone 30 kills on the actual objective. Okay, because there's a lot of stuff going on in between objectives. Okay, you got to be in the circle. okay, in the circle where it takes over the flag to be a part of the objective, which if someone is, I don't know, a sniper, if someone is whatever, you have to be within the objective or on the objective to get this done. So this, all of a sudden, we're with a group of 4 people. Now these 4 people are like, hey, let's go get A. Let's go get C. No, dude, I'm going to stay here and wait. Because if I wait here, I have a better chance of getting my 30 kills in a round, okay, than on the objective, than if I went around running from point A to point B to C to D to E, whatever, okay? So it's literally changing the way people play the game to try to complete these objectives instead of just playing the game, because a lot of gamers want to get it done, right? They want to get it done. And that's how they think. It says, despite my best efforts of Battlefield 6 launch weekend, I wasn't able to get any of these challenges done since none of them were actually tracking my progress. Oh, that's fantastic. Hey, go do this. Oh, by the way, it's not working. Respect the player's time. Oh, but they'll fix it. Don't worry. It's only opening weekend. It's only opening weekend. As a result, I'm still stuck in the game's default gadgets across all 4 classes. And that's frustrating since I'm very much like to try the alternative options in my loadout. Okay. Admittedly, this is more of a Battlefield launch issue bug than a problem with the challenge themselves. But I digress. Ultimately, either because of bizarrely designed objectives or incredibly irksome glitches, okay, engaging with the game's challenges is a real pain at the moment. It says, that's a shame because I'm in love with pretty much every other aspect of Battlefield 6 multiplayer, or sorely want to actually be able to make progress in it. Now, here's hoping EA and Battlefield Studios roll out some improvements and fixes to challenges soon. Note that Battlefield 6 is available for $69.99 on Xbox Series X and S, Windows PC, PlayStation 5, and the Xbox version is now getting some discounts on loaded, formerly CD keys. Specifically, the Standard Edition is $61.19 at the loaded, while also more expensive $100 Phantom Edition is $81.59 at load. All right, so there you go. So things in the game are actually broke, but a lot of people will look at this and go, oh, you're just a hater. You're just a hater. I'm not a hater. I just don't want to pay for a full price game when the game is broke, buggy, and unfinished. But these are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. What do you think? Are you enjoying yourself with a broken, buggy, unfinished game in Battlefield 6? And it doesn't really matter that, you know, Portal has a bunch of garbage in it right now. It doesn't really matter that suppression doesn't work. It doesn't really matter that bloom is off. It doesn't really matter that hit detection is not working. It doesn't really matter that the challenges are not working. And you just having fun. Let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know in the live chat. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe, and as always, check out some of our other videos. Thanks for watching. Mo says, I don't know. It doesn't sound that bad to me, though. I always ADS with a sub and hipfire with my LMGs, just saying. Mo says 30 kills an objective ain't that hard, is it? It is when it doesn't count. And it is when they're forcing you to do something when you don't want to do stuff like that. See, the problem with Battlefield, not this Battlefield to other games, is it's a team-based game. You're supposed to move organically as stuff is happening, right? You're not changing. Like, think about this in Destiny, right? If I have to kill 30 guys in a strike, but I'm playing with my friends, it's going to take me a lot longer to kill 30 guys or 30 specific guys in a strike. So what happens then, Mo, is that I stop playing the way I'm doing with my friends, and I'm like, hey, you're on headset with them, you're talking to them, but you're not playing with them, right? It's like you're playing the same game, but you're not playing with them, because if I play with them, you're stealing my kills. I'm stealing your kills. It's going to take twice as long. I don't have time. We're only on for an hour and a half. So I'm going to go in my own match. You're going to go in your own match, and then I'm going to kill the specific guys that I need to kill so it gets done faster, okay? That's what these types of things do, right? It's not organic. It's not like I'm playing the game and you're like, oh, let's get A, B, and try to win the game. No, it's you got to kill guys on the actual point, okay? You have to hip fire with an LMG. You got to aim down sights of an SMG. It's very, like, and people look at it, well, you don't have to do it. It's just something you complete as you go. Sure. If there's people out there that don't really care about the actual, and can I point out something? This thing right here is AI generated as well. Again, there's the MTash. I'm gonna point this out every single time we have something. Okay, if you look through the article, let's see. There's an NTash There's an Entash, right? You got quotes around certain things that don't really need quotes. Okay, there's an Mtash again. Okay. I'm sure these guys are just super grammar guys, and, you know, they do the stuff. It's amazing. It's amazing. I'm sure they're not using AI. I'm sure I'm just overlooking it. Argus says the average player is not able to even get 30 general kills in a single match, even though the long ones. If you're a Battlefield player, you know this. It's also just like Halo Infinite. The beginning of you wanted you to do a ridiculous, weird stuff that leveled up your battle pass. Waterbear says, good morning, guys. 30, you found out why Randy banned you from being able to Borderlands. Yeah, isn't that weird? I don't know if here, real quick, I just want to do this. I showed this in our Discord. I'm going to open up Steam right now. Let me show you my Steam. Okay. I thought this was the strangest thing. Hold on. When it pops up, it should pop up. Yeah. Okay. So I thought this was the strangest thing, right? So here's my Steam page, right? I go to store and I type in Borderlands 4. Now, do you see what's happening here? Borderlands 4, right? Borderlands 4, right? Borderlands 4. Nothing shows up, right? I have to go to advanced search. And then when I go to advanced search, okay, my Borderlands 4 excluded by preference. What does that mean? Why is my preference? I'm so confused. The content contained is asked not to see it. Some nudity and sexual content. What are we talking about? So now if I type in Borderlands 4, Borderlands 4. I'm so confused. I don't have anything on my Steam account that says I can't see certain things, but anyway, I just thought it was weird. I was like, why is it out? And to go down the rabbit hole, remember Randy said that it's going to take a really long time for Borderlands 4 to go on sale. Was it a month? Took a month for it to go on sale? A month. 1 month to go on sale. Most players are getting killed counts in teens and less than a match, and a lot are usually negative at that. Randoms are terrible at the game. Oh, I know. Most people don't get 30 kills a game, let alone 30 kills on an objectives. If you play the busy objective, you can get 30 kills. Sure, a busy objective that nobody else is trying to get 30 kills on. You have to get 30 kills in the game on the objective. So if you have 31 kills, but 29 of them are on the objective, you fail and you have to do another match. Waterbear says it'll be fixed in 18 to 24 months. Check the leaderboards at the end of your match. Most of these kids are dookie on this, and I'm pretty sad. Not going to lie. People want COD and not Battlefield. Take your ass back to COD and get out of Battlefield. I mean, I've been saying that for, I'll gatekeep. I said I'll gatekeep. Get your shit out of my game. Travis says, I blame EA. Sarge says, hey, bro, the media is complaining about challenges is kind of weak sauce, though. They're reaching to complain about the challenges. I get, though. No. They're not complaining. The player base is complaining. The guy who wrote the article with AI is also complaining, and he agrees with them. Let's go on bat. Why I'm still not playing Battlefield 6 because I'm waiting indifferent review. W doing literally none of your own work. Let's see. What are you talking about, Mike? For what, Argus? Oh, you're talking about the Steam thing? Oh, you must have not a switch or your settings. They also where you can also see stuff. I've never touched anything like that. It's kind of weird. There doesn't seem bad in breakthrough mode. Brainchild says 30 doesn't seem bad in breakthrough mode. Argus, I'm 100% gatekeeper for my games. Yeah, I'm 100% a gatekeeper from Battlelands. from Battlefield. Jesus Christ. I was thinking of Borderlands, and then I was thinking of Battlefield, and Battlelands came up. I don't even know what the hell. Probably made the AI with, maybe. This could be AI. This could be an AI. This could be AI. I mean, he's got a recon guy with dummies next to him, so I don't know. So, but let's not just take my word for it, right? For people complaining about the game. There's no sales numbers. We're going to watch the Tactical Brit. Now, again, if you guys want to watch the Tactical Brit's video without my stopping and pausing and talking and bullshitting, then you can go link in the description down below to watch the Tactical Brit's actual main thing. But go give a like, go give a subscribe. He makes really good content. I like watching his stuff. All right, so here he is. He's been playing Battlefield, where I've been watching Battlefield, but yet me watching other people play Battlefield, and I can tell you that the exact same things that I said the last couple of days on Discord and in my streams is exactly what he's kind of saying here. So let's talk about this.
It's not a secret right now that Battlefield 6 is taking over the world. It's the #1 top seller on Xbox, PlayStation, and on PC platforms, and if you take away the bots that play Counter-Strike 2 to farm things or farm XP in-game, it's actually the most played PC title on Steam right now in the world. I have now racked up a serious number of hours in Battlefield 6, and I finally feel like it's time to talk about some of the slightly more concerning aspects. Now, to be clear, Battlefield 6, in my original review, I said stuck the landing and is delivering us a good platform on day one. And it is. It's a fun game right now to play. There are some frustrating elements, but that's to be expected.
Here's the thing, though. It could be a fun game. And again, I keep saying this. There's a difference between you having fun with a broke game and you having fun with an actual finished game. This game came out early. It's not ready for launch. Yes, they had a smooth launch, but there's stuff missing from this game that should have been fixed day one. One point is the suppression. Suppression still does not work in this game, and people said that, oh, they'll fix it. It's the beta. It's the beta. It's the beta. And these people that say those things have no idea what they're talking about because they're new. And I get it. They like video games, and they're like, oh, I love it. They have rose-tinted glasses on. They think that the company cares about them and they're going to fix these things before the game comes out. And here we are. Ta-da! It's not fixed. The suppression that was known about in the beta 2 months ago is still broke in this game today.
On the release of any video game.
And that's just one example of things that are broke.
And most importantly, what Battlefield 6 has done, which I think is fantastic for the first-person shooter space, is that it's brought back a game that people can sit at home with their friends, kick their feet up on the sofa, whatever it so happens to be, and just mindlessly have a little bit of fun.
Which is fantastic. Mindlessly having fun, but you could still have the same mindless fun when the game was complete. Instead of pushing it out and waiting for it to be complete 6 to 8 to 12 months down the line.
And that's been missing from the shooter space for a while, and I've seen so many of you guys at home dropping great messages like, oh, me and my son have finally gotten on this, or, you know, I haven't gamed like this for a good couple of years, and that's been really cool to see, and I'm so glad to see that Battlefield as a game has started doing this. But
the map designs are absolutely horrendous. Horrendous. This is coming from someone that's played every single Battlefield game, okay? These map designs are bad. Almost worse. See, at least in 2042, the map design was good, but the cover design in those maps was horrendous, which they went back and fixed. This is fundamentally just broke. So much so that they want people, I think, to fix the game themselves. They're like, well, you know what? Liberation Peak is broke. I'm going to make my own in Portal.
Long-term health of Battlefield 6 is something that I feel is quite important, and it's got to start pretty early. Thankfully, we've already got Season 1 on the horizon, which is introducing new maps and content, and they've already alluded to things like naval warfare and Little Birds in the future. But it goes beyond that. There are some issues in...
Why not have one map in the game already with naval combat? Why not have naval combat on maps that already have like a water section, have a mountain section, like have stuff in... They didn't have time for that. They didn't have time for that. They only had 4 studios 4 studios, and they couldn't put naval combat in it because if they put naval combat in it, people of Call of Duty guys wouldn't understand what to do. They're like, what is this water in this game? I don't understand. We've never had this in Call of Duty. What is this, a boat?
The game right now that I feel really need addressing, and some things that I feel structurally are concerning about the planning around Battlefield 6, especially in relation to some of how the maps are playing, and especially in relation to balancing in Battlefield 6 too. Come with me as I go through the list of things that have been inherently frustrating in Battlefield 6, and make sure you subscribe as well. This place is going to be the destination for everything Battlefield, and we're on the road to 200k, and I would love to hit it before 2026. Now, the first issue on the agenda is weapon bloom. Now, for those of you who have experienced this, essentially bloom is a kind of random deviation when firing your weapon. So if you've ever fired at a target in Battlefield 6 and it feels like your bullets are...
Great flyer, by the way. He's doing a great job flying this copter.
Flying into the upper stratosphere, that is essentially what that is.
This was my favorite thing to do back in the day in 3 and 4. Used to love flying, right? And just whoosh, real fast, doing maneuvers, going underneath bridges and stuff.
Battlefield historically has always had bloom, and bloom is essentially a balancing mechanism that tries to create some differentiation between different types of ARs and LMGs, and predominantly affects people who are going full auto. Now, for example...
I've never had a problem with the bloom, because I just don't unload complete clips onto people, right? I go... right? You do burst fire. Burst fire is your friend because if you hold the trigger down, you're like, it goes all over the place, right? A lot of people, again, they have this Call of Duty mentality, unload the entire clip on people, where if you were in battle, okay, people are complaining about how many clips they have, right? They're complaining about the assault guy, and he only has 3 clips, and it feels like it takes the whole clip to fire. Well, yeah, because you're spray painting people in the chest and stuff instead of going for like headshots where you don't have to hit them as many times. Okay. Everyone just goes to the body because they don't want to go for the head. I don't know why. Right. So there's a lot of different things that they could do better.
Call of Duty Warzone and other COD titles, pretty much every assault rifle just becomes a laser beam because there's nothing characteristically different about them, and recoil can very easily be controlled. So in Battlefield, tap firing is king, being stationary whilst firing over extremely long distances is king, and also using standing, crouching, and prone to affect your bloom values also matters in this game. But in Battlefield 6, I think it's safe to say that this is not working properly. Now, granted, you can still alter bloom.
If it's not working correctly, then it shouldn't have released the game. You understand? If bloom is not working correctly, like it's working, but it's not working correctly, then you shouldn't release the game.
You can tap fire to reduce it, but it's safe to say that there are still issues in the game where bloom is being applied at 100% when it shouldn't be. For example, I've had some instances where I start firing my weapon and I'm not really moving, but I'm still seemingly getting the bloom value as though I'm moving completely and firing full auto. It seems to be there's quite a few bugs in this current issue. It was something that was a bug in the Battlefield 6 beta, and they did say that they had allegedly resolved it.
Exactly. Problem in the beta. Don't worry, they'll fix it, and yet they didn't fix it. So how am I supposed to take that as a customer, right? Imagine anybody in your life, right? Take your son or daughter. Hey, did you clean your room? Yes. And then you walk into the room, and the room is not clean. That's called a lie, right? That's calling your bluff. They think you're not going to check. You're just going to trust them. Trust me, bro. Yeah, my room is clean. We're going to fix it. Don't worry. It's a beta. We'll fix it by launch.
But I don't think that is the case. At the moment, I'm encountering lots of instances where I'm getting extreme amounts of bloom, despite using the things that should be countering it, like burst fire, stationary, and prone. And I think it's safe to say that right now, something is just not quite working properly.
It's fine. It's fine. It's working fine, Tactical Brit. It's working fine.
Overall,
they'll fix it. Don't worry. They'll fix it in 6 months. 8 months.
overarchingly, I still agree with the fact that bloom is in Battlefield. I don't think it's something that should be taken away.
No, bloom shouldn't be taken away. It's part of Battlefield.
I don't think it's something that should be removed from the franchise. I think ultimately at the moment it's just incredibly overtuned and definitely not working as intended, giving people a major dislike of how the system is working. The next big issue I have in Battlefield 6 is some of the maps just don't make any sense.
Huh. Well, please tell us how the maps don't make sense, Tactical Brit.
And what I mean,
Because I agree from just watching what I played in the beta for the 4 maps that I play, and then watching the other maps that I play, and all the different game modes of the maps are horrendous.
what I mean by that is some of the designs of them are deliberately pivoted in ways that, in my opinion, are completely nonsensical. For example, in Manhattan Bridge, the out-of-bounds zone for helicopters is incredibly tight. And on top of that, if you go out of bounds, you only have 4 seconds to get back in bounds, which is quicker than most of the turning circles on pretty much all of the attack helicopters. So you just end up detonating.
Right, so you blow up yourself by just going out of bounds because whoever created the map, they decided to make the map for the infantry and not really the actual vehicles on the map itself, right? So this is a major problem in Battlefield 2042. In 2042, they thought the problem was there was too many too many players on the map when they did the 128 versus 128. Okay, they were like, "Oh no, it's not working." Or yeah, was it 64, 128? Yeah, they're like, "Oh, it's not working because there's too many people on the map." No, it's not working because you didn't design the map for the amount of people. Okay, and people are like, "Well, you shouldn't have to design the map for every single game mode." Yes, you should, because you're putting a product out there and you want it to run properly, okay? But they're just like, oh, this looks cool. Let's just take this small little section here. Let's design it for infantry. Oh, but you know what? 7 of the 9 maps we don't have vehicles on, so why don't we put vehicles in here? That's a good idea, but let's not expand the actual radius, where the radius for the vehicles should be 10 times larger, okay? So they can have air combat up here instead of just having the same parameters as the people down below.
That just seems like really poor design and something that either wasn't intended or just wasn't really thought.
Maybe it wasn't intended. Maybe they forgot to go back and make it better. Maybe they forgot to take the outer walls from down below and then expand it from up high for the vehicles. This would all be done correctly if they had good leadership to make sure they did the check marks, cross the T's, dot the I's, and make sure that all of this was done before the game came out.
It's about, and having a wider player space for the attack helicopter just seems logically correct. Granted, this is something I could fix in Battlefield Portal, and make sure you're subscribed.
You hear what he just said? Here we go, right? Which this shouldn't be it. This should not be the answer to the problem. Make the problem, sell the solution. The selling the solution part is let's have the fans make it better.
Logically correct. Granted, this is something I could fix in Battlefield Portal, and make sure you're subscribed because I do have a video coming where I basically just try to make all of the maps better.
I'm going to make all the maps better. And I can't wait to watch that content from Tactical Brit, because I'll be like, one man can do it in your program that you put in the game, but you guys can't do it with 4 studios? Amazing.
But it's something that should just be that way out of the box by default. Having it so that helicopters basically get instantly deleted for so much as slightly venturing out of bounds when the out of bounds is literally microscopic isn't something that to me is logical. Likewise,
because it's not logical. It's not. He's 100% correct. Why would it? In what world would you be like, let's make a map, but let's treat the air vehicles like the people on the ground, where as soon as they go outside and dip, they have to get back in within 4 seconds.
there are very similar issues on things like Firestorm and Mirak Valley. In Operation Firestorm, there seems to have been a concentrated effort to try and force the spawns a little bit closer together, and in doing this and not making it a wider player space, you end up...
The reason they put the spawn points closer is because they can't let... It's sort of like Hollywood. They can't let a joke, like a scene, play out. They got to put a joke in there to move it along, because they don't want to feel like uncomfortable in any way, shape, or form if someone has like a moment, right? Like a sad moment happens and they have to put a joke in there because, reasons. In this, Battlefield is all about, and people used to make fun of this all the time, it's a run simulator. Because when you first start the match, everyone runs into the thing, establishes front lines and points and different things. But now they put the points so close to each other because they have to have that instant gratification. They have to have that instant, connection where you're already shooting at people right away, okay? Which is, we're going to talk about Arc Raiders a little bit later, okay? There's dips and there's peaks and valleys, okay? And Battlefield was great about the peaks and valleys because in the beginning, there's a valley. And then when you get to the point, it becomes a peak again. And then when you wipe out that peak, it becomes a valley again. And then you either decide that you want to go from A to B to C to D, whatever, and spread out, hold to 3 or push to 4 or make a 5, take over all the pieces, right? That's the valley. The valley is you're not shooting at anybody. You're establishing dominance on the map. Then the peak comes when everyone's starting to fight again. They don't want that in this game. They want constant peak. Constant peak.
With a situation where you're almost constantly taking gunfire in this map as though it's a smaller map. Something I've said very early in Battlefield 6's life cycle is that they seem to be targeting a very specific time to engagement to keep people engaged, and I actually think that goes against the philosophy of the game.
Thank you so much. Yes, it does go against the philosophy of what Battlefield is. They're trying to, and when people say, oh, Battlefield is not Call of Duty, it's nothing like Call of Duty. Well, it's also nothing like Battlefield anymore. They're trying to push it just a little bit more towards the the Call of Duty side than the Battlefield side. Call of Duty is constant. Battlefield, again, peaks and valleys.
On top of that, I actually think that doing this and making these spawns smaller and bringing them closer together actually just makes most of their maps feel more similar.
Yes, they do.
And feel more samey unnecessarily. There's actually multiple instances in Liberation Peak, Mirak Valley, and Operation Firestorm where essentially I instantly get locked on by anti-aircraft the second I leave spawn. And that to me is just bad design more than anything else and definitely needs to be changed. Speaking of Mirak Valley, another thing that doesn't make a lot of sense to me is that the entire north...
Guys, I'm going to have to take a quick break real fast. I have a guy coming over to... because we're building something, a shed in the back, and I got to go talk to him. So I'm going to put it on a short break. I'll play some music for you guys. And then I'll be back in hopefully in about 7 to 10 minutes. All right. Sorry about this. Guy just showed up. So I got to go do that real fast and I'll be back. Stick around, talk to chat, listen to music, and I'll be back in a second.
Side of the map is just...
All right. Sorry about that, chat. Ooh, it's bright outside. All right. All right, let me get back to the video. Thank you for hanging out and sticking with us over here. I know a lot of people left. It's okay. All right, so where were we?
It's completely barren and empty. The south side of the map has a really cool Battlefield Bad Company style town that provides you a little bit of a slight valley and dip in order to break target locks as a helicopter, and also just gives a little bit more infantry combat spaced away from the primary buildings. But the northernmost part of the map is essentially just an open field, and it basically allows you to get a direct sightline into the enemy spawn with absolutely zero downsides. To me, this doesn't make much sense, and once again, I think I'm probably going to have to go into Battlefield Portal to...
Hold on a second. Let me rewind what he just said there for a second. Sorry about that.
Just bad design more than anything else, and definitely needs to be unnecessary. I actually think that doing this and making these spawns smaller and bringing them closer together actually just makes most of their maps feel more similar and feel more samey unnecessarily. There's actually multiple instances in Liberation Peak, Mirak Valley, and Operation Firestorm where essentially I instantly get locked on by anti-aircraft the second I leave spawn. And that to me is just bad design.
Yeah, if you could ping somebody as soon as he lifts off, like, bro, especially if like let's say you're on A side, you lift off. If they own A, sure, they can ping him right away. But if you're clear across the map and you're getting pinged right away, your map design is pretty bad.
More than anything else.
Real quick, Argus, thank you very much for the 21 months, ever closer to 2 years. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate that. Thank you so much for this continued support. Almost 2 years. Holy Christ. That's crazy. That's crazy.
And definitely needs to be changed. Speaking of Mirak Valley, another thing that doesn't make a lot of sense to me is that the entire north side of the map is just completely barren and empty. The south side of the map has a really cool Battlefield Bad Company style town that provides you a little bit of a slight valley and dip in order to break target locks as a...
Oh, wow. Look at that valley and dip, huh?
Helicopter, and also just gives a little bit more infantry combat spaced away from the primary buildings. But the northernmost part of the map is essentially just an open field, and it basically allows you to get a direct sightline into the enemy spawn with absolutely zero downsides. To me, this doesn't make much sense, and once again, I think I'm probably going to have to go into Battlefield Portal to try and improve the overall Mirak.
It's always good when, if the game that comes out that you paid full price for, if it's $70, $80, $100 for the game, and it's not working correctly, or the map design is completely shit, that you, the player that paid your money to play the game that's supposed to be designed and good, go in by yourself and then fix it for everybody else. It's a fantastic way to make money, isn't it? Why do the work yourself, even though you're about $500 million in the hole to this game right now, just in the game itself, no, not even marketing on top of that, okay? And then get the money back. Get the $70, $80, $100 back to make your fans, your actual people that paid for the game, to make the game better.
Valley experience and take the map from like a 6 or 7 out of 10 to more of an 8 or 9 out of 10. Again, all of these are things that we can resolve ourselves as a community, but out of the box, I just think Mirak Valley could be a better experience. I could probably also write an entire essay about certain balancing elements within Breakthrough and Rush, and I think probably in the future I'm going to make my own Rush layouts for individual maps.
I love that Tactical Brit's like, yeah, I'm just going to fix the game for him. I'm just going to do it myself. Because I guarantee you it will be done faster if the community does it than the actual studio does it. Because the studio, it's almost like when you have to get, when you want to build something, you got to get a building permit, you got to get the inspector to come, you got to do all this stuff, you got to get the AOK from Chuck in marketing. Is this good? Is this a good thing? Are we going to offend somebody? Where if the people just do it, it's like, yeah, I'm doing it. I don't have to check with anybody. This is how it is. It's done.
And if that's something you're interested in watching, again, make sure you're subscribed. I think we're going to try and make a classic Rush experience that predominantly focuses around infantry.
Also, right now, if I'm not mistaken, Rush is like super hard to find while you're playing the game. You have to go to Portal and find a Rush mode.
Combat vehicles like the transport helicopter to bring a Bad Company 2 vibe to Battlefield 6. The next big thing to me that I'm noticing as a pilot and somebody who tries every vehicle and everything in Battlefield 6 is that helicopters are woefully underbalanced in this game, and honestly, the whole anti-aircraft ecosystem needs a complete rebalance with Battlefield 6. Right now, attack helicopters, in my opinion,
Battlefield should feel, as far as when the moments happen in the actual fight, should feel like a Hell Let Loose. And when I say Hell Let Loose, I'm talking about when the battle was happening in Hell Let Loose. That's what Battlefield should feel like. It should feel like I'm defending, you're attacking, and we're holding a spot. Not this I'm rushing all over the place type of thing, right? There should feel like, right now, it feels a little bit more tuned towards COD than it does towards a Battlefield, right? Obviously, Hell Let Loose is much slower, and I'm not talking about the slow pace of that. I'm talking about the interaction moments of the thing.
May as well not exist, and transport helicopters are basically lucky to exist. The issue you've got right now in Battlefield 6 is that you have, for example, an anti-aircraft tank, you have anti-aircraft cannons, you have tow missiles and wire-guided missiles. You also have the fact that light machine guns and small arms do an alarming amount of damage to these vehicles. And then on top of that, you also have RPGs, which are very quick to fire, have decent velocity, and reload very quickly, and you get 3 of them. You also have Stingers, which reload basically in 0.5 of a second, and even more alarmingly, tank machine guns,
so
like the secondary gunner machine gun, does an insane amount of damage to both of those vehicles. I've actually had a situation where I thought I was being...
It's like you put vehicles in the game, but they're like paper mache, as I take something from Sarge. Sarge always calls them paper mache. Right? Like, you get in a vehicle, and the vehicle should feel like it's a dominant. A vehicle should feel like an elite character on the map. Like, if you were playing a looter shooter, and an elite showed up, it would be a tank. Okay? Like, that's what it is. A tank or a helicopter is like an elite boss. Okay? And you should have a little bit of problems where people have to shift. They're like, oh my god, we have a tank, we need some engineers, blah, blah, blah. No. Not in this game. In this game, there's a tank, everyone's like... dead, right? Copter, they should be raining down. If you have a great pilot on your team, congratulations. You're going to win the battlefield because that guy knows how to air, and then you have to get people on the AA gun. The AA gun should be the one keeping the copter busy, okay? So everybody else can move around the battlefield. But that's not what's happening with the tanks and the AA guns and with the copters and the jets. It's like they're paper mache.
hit by an anti-aircraft tank, and it was in fact just a regular tank with the top-mounted light machine gun. And that gives you a good example of just how much health I lost in such a short window. And that doesn't even factor in the fact that we have, you know, other jets and helicopters to worry about that are also gunning for us. So all in all, the entire ecosystem just basically destroys these vehicles and makes them pointless. Now,
Exactly. They're pointless.
granted, you don't want attack helicopters going 100-0 in Battlefield 6. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants a farming simulator. But at the same time right now, I feel as though attack helicopters and transport helicopters don't really have a place in this game.
You don't have to have a farming simulator just because one person's up in the sky. There should be multiple vehicles up in the sky. Just like there's infantry on the ground, there should be copters and jets in the sky. They're having their own little battle up here. You're having your own little battle down here. And every so often, you're going to look up and shoot the guy. Every so often, when they're done doing what they're doing against the guys that are fighting up there, they're going to look down and shoot down at you. And if you have a good enough team where you have people up in the sky, well, then you won't have to worry about the people up in the air, especially if you have, there's two AA guns on the board, at least on Liberation Peak here. One on that side, one on the other side. They can help with the air defense, so you're not getting bombarded. But no one does that, right? No one does that because they're going for the kills instead of going for the objectives.
And there isn't enough cover on the vast majority of these maps in order to break target locks and give yourself a reprieve. It also doesn't help that the majority of people could basically look directly into your spawn on these maps most of the time because of DICE's willingness to try and condense these maps and make them smaller. The first thing I would do immediately right out of the gate is completely rebalance the amount of rockets that engineers have. I think the fact that you get 2 to 3 Stingers and can reload them instantly, and also get 3 RPGs that could be reloaded very quickly is insane. I think 2 RPGs at best and 2 Stingers at best, and on top of that, the resupply off of a resupply crate should be incredibly slow.
Wait a minute. A resupply off a resupply crate. I thought he was...
And not something that's achieved quickly. As an engineer, you should have to make a conscious decision as to whether or not...
It's almost like, here, you know what Helldivers does really well? There's ways to get around it for like the load animation. But if I have the recoilless rifle and I'm reloading, it takes a long time, right? If I have an like the heavy machine gun, it takes a really long time to load it. That's the con to the pro. The pro is it does more damage. The con is when I'm out of bullets, it takes me a really long time to load the thing. They should implement that in games like this, right? Like if I have a rocket, I'm out of rocket, it's going to take a little bit more time, okay, to load the rocket where it's not super fast, right? Because if I could just instantly, constantly reload the stuff, it's going to feel a little broke.
You're going to fire a dumbfire or lock-on missile at a specific vehicle or not, and make a value proposition as to the risk of doing so and the resupply of doing so.
He just wants the game slower, that's basically it. No, he wants Battlefield to be Battlefield again. Roadkill. He has more right to say, make the game back to what it was than you. I like it. This is not Battlefield. Battlefield was a slower paced game. Hence why Battlefield, since the beginning of time, wasn't as popular as Call of Duty. Because it was a slower paced game. Not as slow as Hell Let Loose, but it was a slower paced game.
Right now, they essentially get a bit of everything that makes them super overpowered, and then on top of that, light machine guns just shouldn't be dealing that much damage to a helicopter. I'm okay with small arms and machine guns on tanks doing some damage to helicopters, but it needs to be a very, very minuscule, small amount. And I know already in the comment section, people are writing up messages being like, a 7.62 machine gun would instantly melt a helicopter if it was fire. But it's a video game, and that's not what Battlefield is about. And ultimately, if you...
That's the key word there. That's not what Battlefield is about. Right? Battlefield was this, for 23 years, well, actually, I should say 19 years, because Battlefield 2042 came out and it completely threw everything out the window until they fixed it. But for 23 years, just to make the point, is Battlefield's been this way of a game. And now they're changing it, and they're losing the identity of what Battlefield is.
Have 2 light machine...
In many ways. The way the gameplay is made, with Portal, with BR, Battlefield is not the same.
Guns firing at your helicopter in Battlefield 6, you may as well just stop flying. Now, these balancing changes I feel are really important to improve the overall combined arms health of this game, and I really feel as though right now it's just not in a healthy place for anti-air to aerial vehicles. Well, you don't want a situation where somebody's farming. You don't want this game to cater towards a certain type of sweaty player, because that's not what Battlefield is about. But you also don't want to nullify an entire really important Battlefield 6, and the same kind of applies to...
Let me rewind what he just said there, because I think he's making a good point.
For anti-air to aerial vehicles. Well, you don't want a situation where somebody's farming. You don't want this game to cater towards a certain type of sweaty player, because that's not what Battlefield is about.
Yeah, if you make it towards a sweaty group, you're going to lose everybody. If you make it towards a sweaty group of people, you're going to lose everybody. Okay? You got to balance it to what it was.
But you also don't want to nullify an entire really important Battlefield 6, and the same kind of applies to jets too. The jets at the moment can be incredibly good and capable in the right hands, but the lack of loadout system on them means that they have a very limited amount of what they can achieve in a game, and are often countered incredibly easily as well. Also, looping back to the previous map confusion issues, there seems to be some situations on some maps where entire sets of vehicles like specific helicopters are spawning for one team.
That's another thing, right? So if I take over a certain point, right, a helicopter or a tank appears. But if you take over that certain point, you don't get it, which is kind of weird, because you would think that you would get your version of that helicopter or that version of the tank in that location to kind of sway the balance. But I think there's something wrong going on in the game, but I'm sure it's fine.
But not spawning for the other team. Not sure if that's a bug or an intended sort of asymmetrical style gameplay, but either way, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Speaking of general balancing...
Here, perfect example, right? So, on this particular board, actually, I don't know about this board, but let's just say on this level, on whatever, E here, if red takes over, okay, E, then they should be able to get a copter or tank or whatever it is here, right? And then if they take over D, let's say a copter appears here, so now they have the copter on the board, okay? So now it would make you have a choice of like, well, we should take out their copter's up in the air, let's knock down their copter, and then take over D so they don't get another copter type of stuff. That's the way it should be, but that's not the way people play, right? But right now what's happening is if red takes over D, they don't get a copter. But D has a copter when they take over D. It doesn't make any sense.
Style gameplay, but either way, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Speaking of general balancing, now we've already touched on Bloom, and we've already touched on certain, rocket launchers and ammunition types and things like that. Claymores and mines, I think, are starting to become a little bit problematic. Predominantly because they actually stay alive if somebody dies. If you're an engineer and you place 3...
Hasn't that always been a thing, though? Hasn't that always been a thing since Bad Company 2? If you put mines down and you die, I could have sworn the mines stayed on the ground. I don't think that's changed. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. I'm pretty sure the mines stayed on the ground regardless if you died or not. The only thing that would change is if I have 3 and I put a 4th one down, the first one misses, right? So if I put 3 landmines down, and I add the 4th, okay, the 4th one is now the first one because the first one disappears and the 4th one takes its place. That's always been in Battlefield.
Mines on the map and then you die, those 3 mines will stay on the map even if you switch classes. And I don't think I necessarily agree with that.
That's always been in Battlefield.
I don't mind mines
See, the problem with this is he's saying this, okay, because the tanks feel like paper mache, right? So they think it's bullshit that, oh, I'm dying because of these mines on the ground and there's too many mines on the ground. Well, if the tanks weren't paper mache, then your tank wouldn't blow up as fast, and then you could repair your tank. You could also look at the ground, and if you see a road, you might want to shoot a shell there just to make sure that none of it's there, or have someone spot if there's landmines on the ground and mark them for you. Play a team game in Battlefield.
being lethal. It would be nice if they were visually slightly more obvious. I think they blend into the surroundings very clearly. But for me, claymores are probably the biggest one. Claymores should not be one-shotting people. I don't think it's an enjoyable experience. I don't think it's enjoyable to get up the top of a ladder or the top of a zipline and instantly be deleted by an explosive that doesn't have a huge amount of visibility. I think dialing this back to about 80 damage is really balanced because it allows the person who has been damaged to escape if possible, but it also lets the person who has placed the claymore get a clear numerical advantage.
Let me rewind that again to listen to him again.
Instantly be deleted by an explosive that doesn't have a huge amount of visibility. I think dialing this back to about 80 damage is really balanced because it allows the person who has been damaged to escape if possible, but it also lets the person who has placed the claymore get a clear numerical advantage on the person it has damaged. One thing I think Battlefield just generally needs to be very cautious.
When you have a tank in Battlefield, you're not supposed to go front line with it. You're supposed to stay far because your ass end is the weak spot. So if you push in and you have no cover from if someone else is in your tank or you have a group of people on the outside of your tank, the only time you should push a tank into a town is if you have a group of people with you, okay? Because obviously they're going to run out of the buildings and put claymores on you. They're going to put landmines in the ground. They're going to rocket you from the back end, right? Tanks are supposed to clear ahead, destroy everything, flatten everything, and then everyone is supposed to move in.
Of going into the future is having various items in its game that progressively build frustration, and I feel as though landmines and claymores at the moment are reaching a semi-frustrating space. That's not to say that they should be completely nullified. They definitely have a place in the game and can be used incredibly effectively, but again, just minor tweaks here and there.
I don't have a problem. Again, I'm not playing Battlefield 6 right now, but I have no problem with the landmines or the claymores doing what they're supposed to do. You as the driver and you as the team that's pushing up, if they put booby traps all over the ground, you got to pay attention.
Make them a bit more of a balanced and fair experience for all participants, both on the receiving end and the providing end, is definitely the way to go forward. Speaking of things that I feel need complete reworking, the spotting system in Battlefield 6 is very confusing. And honestly, I would not be against them just taking spotting away from the...
I love how everyone's upset about the spotting. The spotting has been in the game, I forget how long, okay? If you don't want spotting, then play hardcore, right? See, here's the thing. If you don't like certain things, they're like, well, I'm just going to go make it in Portal. I don't like this. I'm going to go make it in Portal. But they're like, they need to get away from spotting. If you don't want spotting, you can go to Portal. You can make a custom map where you can't spot at all. It doesn't show up on the thing.
Game completely. It's something I feel like we've spoken about a lot in Battlefield and historically. I just don't see the value that spotting adds to the game other than basically illuminating targets that otherwise shouldn't really be seen. In fact, I've had situations recently where I am looking through a smoke grenade and I've got big red dots appearing on my screen.
Well, that's completely different. That's bad coding. If there's smoke between you and them, you shouldn't be able to ping somebody across the smoke because the smoke should act as a wall. So you shouldn't be it. But that's a coding thing, right? So it knows that, oh yeah, there's a guy all the way back there. I can see him. That's always been a problem because it's the way they code the thing. Like if I'm looking towards this spot over here, right, through that smoke, right? And let's say I can't, like he can see his teammate up there, obviously as his teammate, but let's just say that was an enemy. Okay, if that smoke is up there and he's hitting it, he should not be able to see the guy to the far left because the smoke is blocking him out.
Situations recently where I am looking through a smoke grenade and
the reason they have the team is what Sarge is saying. Spotting is the entire point of team play, right? Spotting is because otherwise they wouldn't be able to kill anything.
I've got big red dots appearing on my screen above people's heads and I'm like, wait, how am I seeing them? And on the inverse of that, they're shooting back at me because they can clearly see me being spotted too. And there's just way too many variables. I don't think it's very clear that you have been spotted in Battlefield 6 either. I don't think it's very clear that you can break a spotting sight line. Generally speaking, at the moment, I think the system just needs...
Maybe they should make... All right, so you see how big the Dorito chip is above him?
You can...
Like, you see that? Like, watch when he zooms in, right? Like, look how big... Oh, it's hard to see because of the fucking play button. Okay.
Spotted in Battlefield.
You see how when he spots him...
I don't think it's very clear that you can...
You see how big that is? Maybe, again, maybe, spotting's fine, but just don't make the goddamn thing so big above their head because when he zooms in...
Break a spot.
It's proportional to him, but when he zooms out...
Sight line, generally...
When he zooms out, the thing is gigantic. It's like a spotlight above his head.
Speaking at the moment, I think the system just needs a uniformity to it, a universal way of how it works and how it doesn't work. You know, I think at the moment, you know, you don't know all of these variables in relation to spotting and it makes the experience really confusing. It should just be as simple as if through smoke, you do not get spotted.
It's exactly right. That's exactly right. If there's something blocking your view, a rock, smoke, which would make a big difference why people should throw smoke down, because then you can't spot people. Imagine that if they actually coded where if it's through smoke, you can't see them.
If you go prone, spotting stops working. Just stuff like that. Things that potentially...
I agree with that. Your spot... Well, prone, I don't know about the prone. Because if a guy's prone on top of a mountain, a sniper, and you spot him, you should be able to see him because you see him. So I don't know about the prone position. You don't get spotted. Maybe you get spotted less. Maybe it doesn't... When you ping somebody that's spotted on prone position, it doesn't stay up as long. I would agree with something like that.
Just give you a universal behavior for how these systems are meant to work, which gives you a counteractiveness to them. Right now, it kind of just feels like you might randomly be spotted on any given occasion. You won't know if you've been spotted.
Like, look at that right there, right? He starts running.
Feels like you...
He turns, right? You don't see anybody there, okay? All of a sudden...
randomly be spotted in...
He gets spotted right there. Boom. He gets spotted, and there's this giant orange dot above his head. Giant dot above his head.
Occasion, you won't...
And then when he zooms in, it gets smaller. It should be small and then become this big when you zoom in, obviously.
Know if you've been spotted on any given occasion, and the whole thing just feels a bit messy and falls apart. It would be nice to just sort of have a uniformity to it, and although I don't want this game to become super sweaty, I really like the things that they do in games like Siege, Counter-Strike, and Valorant in terms of making uniformity for certain mechanics in the game so that they're easily readable and easily counterable. And spotting is one of the mechanics in Battlefield 6 that I feel needs a universal baseline for how it works and how it doesn't work and how you can counter it. The next one for me is the overall grind for XP, both in terms of leveling.
And this is the article we were just talking about earlier, right? The grind for the challenges. Here he goes.
And leveling up your weapons. I think at the moment it's just too long. You know, I'm somebody who plays this game pretty religiously on stream and I'm making content on it. But at the moment I'm seeing situations where like people are struggling to unlock guns and weapons. And if I'm somebody who has a regular job and can only get on for a couple hours a day or a couple hours on the weekend, it feels like I'm basically making no progress.
Well, you're making progress. You're making super slow progress. And the reason for that is because there's a battle pass. The reason for that is they want you to super slow. The reason for that is they'll probably charge you for double XP.
Now, as somebody who streams this thing full time, yeah, sure, I'm leveling up and I'm unlocking attachments, but it's still taking me a very long time. So I'm struggling to imagine how long it's taking the average Joe who's just working. Do you know what I mean? You know, people only hitting like...
Sarge, this guy has played it nonstop since the game came out, and he's telling you it takes too long to unlock stuff. He's not bitching. He's saying for the average person that plays this game, it will take you forever to unlock something, especially if you only play 2 hours a week.
Level 20.
His 4 days, he's put about 40 hours in. So he's put in what people would put in a month. Okay? If I put 2 hours in a week, that's 6 months of time that I'm putting in to unlock a equipment piece for my sniper rifle. Or maybe I could just purchase it. I don't know if that's what they're going to do.
Or level 10 or whatever it so happens to be, it's not fair to expect those people to invest thousands of hours into this game to unlock things that could potentially improve their overarching experience quite significantly. So I feel that that needs addressing. Also, the mastery camos I actually think are really lackluster. Now look, we don't want a Black Ops style camo where things are glowing and things are animated, and those things ultimately just don't have places in Battlefield and visually don't make sense.
Titan, I think it was 80%. 80% of the developers left the company after 5. Right? 80% left after 5, and then 90% left after 2042, I believe.
But a very subtle Damascus camo, like a dark silver Damascus camo, I think would have worked incredibly well. Using things like kill counters on the side of weapons akin to CSGO style stat trackers, I think would have been really cool for mastery systems. And I really want them to flesh out the mastery system in this game a lot more. Right now the progression system doesn't feel very rewarding in terms of what you unlock, and I think they were too scared to add anything that felt visually out of place, which is...
Well, they're too scared to do that, and everyone's giving praise right now. They're like, look, there's no microtransactions. Yeah, buckle up, buddy. buckle up.
It's fine, and I think that's what people were expecting. But there is an opportunity here to just make things a little bit better, you know, improve them in a certain direction. The final thing in this video is something I feel is really important. Now, I understand that a lot of you guys perhaps don't see the potential or understand what Battlefield Portal is going to bring to Battlefield 6.
Here's where I 100% disagree with him here. Because I know what he says, because I watched this earlier. He says, and I'll let him play it and say it, but he says Portal is the future of Battlefield. And in my head, that is the complete opposite of what Battlefield is. Portal should not be the future of Battlefield. Battlefield should be Battlefield, and Portal should add to that, but not be what Battlefield becomes.
Because it's incredibly early doors, and the guys who are actually creating these experiences and learning these tools and learning how to get into these tools are still in that process. But we've seen some really impressive early things come out of this already. There have been guys who have been able to make copies of Space Invaders in Battlefield 6, and somebody who's currently making a third-person SOCOM Desert Glory recreation using Battlefield 6's Portal. And Battlefield Portal generally could get a huge amount of love over the upcoming season.
100% will. It'll be like the mods in like SnowRunners. It'll be like the mods in Fallout. It'll be like the mods in Skyrim, where the modders, which are not really modders, they're just people using the tools that are being given to you inside of Battlefield. Okay. But my problem with that is that there's going to be so much garbage, so much stuff inside of Portal. And then because Portal takes off and because BR takes off, the devs don't have to do anything. Minimal viable product. Okay. And they'll now rely on just the season event that happens, and they'll work on the season event. Well, everybody else makes everything else for them, which is just the players themselves that get no money. They get nothing for it. They do it on their own time, and they do it for them to make the game better, which is different than mods, because mods are modders, okay, that they happen to put in. You have to do a third-party program. This is within the program itself.
Seasons, and I really think it needs it. I think it needs the ability to have blank maps and blank canvases, the ability to have different assets be placed in any map and not just be restricted to whatever assets are in that map. But most importantly, and probably the biggest one, is just see further expansions of what is logically possible. At the moment, there are no presets in the Portal editor. You basically have to start everything from scratch. So providing basic presets like modified conquest or modified rush so that you can very quickly drag and drop assets and recreate these modes in your own.
Right, but you see the problem? The problem is, if I want these things fixed, as he said throughout the entire video, the cover's not good. I'll fix it myself in Portal. This is not good. I'll fix it in Portal. Marking people, you can do that in Portal, right? The maps are not big enough. I can fix that in Portal. Do you see the fundamental problem? We do see the fundamental problem here, right?
Own vision and design would be a big thing. I generally think that the sky is the limit for Portal, and I think it's something that's going to drive an incredible amount of interest and content in the future. It just needs that little...
He's not wrong there. That's what's going to drive it, but that's not Battlefield. Especially if I'm doing jet races, or I'm playing COD maps inside of Battlefield, or I'm playing... You know what I mean?
A bit more love progressively over the next couple of seasons. And I'm a huge advocate for that.
Because if I'm playing on top of a Star Destroyer in Star Wars in Battlefield, then I'm not playing Battlefield. I'm playing Battlefront. I'm playing Call of Duty. I'm playing Fortnite. I'm playing racing.
Because I've seen what some of these guys are working on, and I've seen what this stuff is capable of, and honestly, I think it's the future of this game. So folks, that's it for me today. My name is Tactical Brit. We are on the road to 200k, which is fantastic. If you could drop a like and drop a subscribe, it would be wonderful, and I would really greatly appreciate it.
So there you go. There's Tactical Brit. Links in the description down below. So go check that out. And then we have another video here that we'll watch. It's about 15 minutes long. Okay. So let me get rid of those two things. Give it a like. Give it a subscribe. Go to Tactical Brit's YouTube channel. Now the next one is we're watching Darth Microtransaction, but he's reacting to Kelsky. Okay, Kelsky is the original person of the video. Now the reason we're not watching his video is his is 52 minutes long. I'm not going to watch that. Well, I did watch it, but we're not going to watch it on stream because it would take me 2 hours just to watch that whole thing. Okay. But we are going to watch Darth Microtransaction reacting to the front part of Kelsky's actual video about Arc Raiders. Now, Arc Raiders is coming out this weekend. As a content creator, as a person that likes video games, as a person that likes what Arc Raiders was a beginning when it was a PvE thing, and then I lost interest because it was a PvPvE thing and it became an extraction. I lost interest, but slowly has it brought me back in because of the design choices that they've done, which are ex-DICE developers, which started a new company called Embark a couple years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and they made the finals, right? I like the finals, but I don't prefer that type of game anymore. So I stopped playing the finals, right? And then now they have Arc Raiders. And the more I see about Arc Raiders, the more I'm more interested because they say the right things, they're doing the right things. We read the thing yesterday about respecting your time as you're playing the game, that you can just go in, get these certain materials, overall progression, but it doesn't just not respect your time. It respects your time as a player of video games. And that, to me, is the number one rule of all gaming, right? Respect the player's time. So, well, first it's make a game solid game, and then it's respect the player's time, right? So links are in the description down below, not only for Darth Microtransaction, but also for Kelsky down in the descriptions down below. All right, so let's get this going.
Arc Raiders might be peak.
A genre of game where a player enters a map, loots as much as they can, and tries to get out alive. If you die, you lose everything on your person, becoming a mere loot chest for someone else. One man's ass is another man's pleasure, or something like that. I don't know. It is easily one of the most misunderstood genres in gaming. On paper, you would think that people would love extraction shooters. Battle royales were, and still are, a very popular genre. The thrill of being the last person alive out of 100 people is a high that few other multiplayer games can achieve. And if you think about it, BRs are basically extraction shooters, right? You drop in, gather items that you lose upon trying to build battle a booger-picking 12-year-old, and you extract...
Yeah, but Battle Royales are just about the Battle Pass. That's it. Do stuff since they added that, because when the Battle Royale first came out, it didn't have the Battle Pass. It didn't have a Battle Pass. It was just play the game, get the wins, and whatnot. Then they added the Battle Pass with the cosmetics and stuff like that. And it doesn't matter if you win or lose. Doesn't matter if you extract. There's more XP, obviously, if you do, and you get the brag and whatnot. But that's it. You're not gathering, I'm leveling up my LMG, I'm leveling up my assault rifle. It's just, I open this chest, ta-da, there's a thing, and you use it for that game, and then it's done.
By just killing...
That's why I don't play Battle Royales anymore. Because it's all about the Battle Pass.
Every player in the lobby. But whenever I see people talk about extraction shooters online, it always carries such a negative stigma. Why? Some people say it's oversaturated, and I'm like, bitch, where? Go ahead, name me 5 quality extractions.
I couldn't name you 5 extractions off the top of my head, but I do know there's like 15 or 20. Now, are 15 or 20 popular? No, there's only about 2 or 3 that are popular.
Extraction shooters. You got Tarkov, free-to-play Tarkov, and Hunt Showdown, which is a
free-to-play Tarkov.
Okay, he said shooters, but isn't Dark and Darker basically this?
Peace, but then nothing. There is little to no real competition in this space. Look at the top.
I wouldn't say there's no competition. There's plenty of games out
10
there.
extraction.
I mean, obviously, Helldiver is not really it's an extraction, but not the same type of extraction, right? Delta Force, I wouldn't really call that an extraction either. Dark and Darker is an extraction. Hunt Showdown. You got Warzone over here, right? You have games that are covering the market. Now, Hunt Showdown, I can't see.
Shooters on Steam. There's
hold on. Let me see
competition in this space. Look at the top 10.
Yeah, Hunt Showdown. Okay, current's got 4,677, 13,000 24-hour peak, 60,000 all-time peak. I think Arc Raiders shatters this on Steam. I'm saying 200,000. Okay, that's my prediction. Okay, about 200,000 for Arc Raiders on Steam. Okay, I don't know if that happens this weekend or if it happens at launch, but it's going to happen. Okay, the extraction shooters are very, you could say, saturated for the amount of people that play extraction. So let's say there's 1 million people that play extraction shooters across the entire board. Okay, and there's 15 extraction shooters out there. You can't name more than 3, but they're there. Okay, a lot of people are trying to tap that market that is very small. But here comes Arc Raiders. Here comes Marathon, where they're trying to take that next step forward to try to get that space to make it bigger. So let's say it's 1 million people now. They're trying to make it 2 million, 3 million. Okay, because I don't think they're going to get the people that are playing Hunt Showdown to come over to play Arc Raiders. A few, not a lot. Those people that put that time in for Hunt Showdown are probably going to stay there. You'll probably lose a little bit of your player base to try it or whatnot. And they've been playing this for years. But for the most part, the people that are in their extraction, because the way extractions are, they don't want to leave an extraction to go to another extraction. Okay? But now, Hunt Showdown's going to bring in people that have never played an extraction. I'm going to try it this weekend. Okay? The only other extraction that I played was Division with the DZ. Okay? Which is a game mode within another game mode. Okay? Or within the game itself. Okay? I've never really played an extraction. I've tried other games in the past. Never really stuck with me. PUBG, Battle Royale type of stuff and extraction. But I've never actually like dove into extraction just because of the way it is. Now with this video and what we've seen other time, kind of persuaded me. I'm like, all right, I'll give it a shot.
Shooters on Steam. There's nothing here, man. People seem to associate extraction shooters with only Tarkov. They think this genre of game can only be a hardcore modern military shooter where all your hard work can be yoinked from you because of a single lucky headshot.
Yeah. The guy on the wall.
It's shit on.
Oh, he just got one shot.
It's
I
shit
didn't
on.
even see him aim his gun. He was sprinting, stopped sprinting for a microsecond, shot, and then kept on sprinting.
And you know what? I'm tired of it.
That's because he's playing Tarkov, so that's a cheater.
Not think creatively, motherfucker. Use that imagination. This genre is so ripe for exploration, but most developers who venture into it just do what Tarkov does. Carbon copies with occasional gimmicks. Where's the innovation? Bungie's Marathon seemed to be the one to change things up. They seemed to be...
Marathon's going to bomb, by the way. Marathon's going to die. And because Marathon dies, you guys get Destiny 3.
the guy.
Cake.
Yeah, and then they copy them. Yeah, okay. Oh, and you know what? I spoke too soon. Then they straight up stole art.
Extraction shooters are...
Oh, look. Wait, hold on. Look at this. Look at this.
I think you're right, Jones. Third person helps with the casuals, I think. I think you're absolutely correct. He actually, not Darth Microtransaction, but Kelsky goes into it later in his video, in the 52-minute video, about third person to first person and why it's more approachable.
Look at this. Watch this.
things
Right,
up.
watch this.
They seemed to be the
Guy,
guy.
we missed something right here. Right here. Right here. Look, it's Hassan's dog in the background here.
Extraction shooters are just doomed to forever be Tarkov clones, never pushing the boundaries, remaining a niche genre with a negative stigma of being unfun, boring, punishing, and not new player friendly.
I have had it with these
Generic extraction shooters.
on this motherfucking
Gaming industry.
everybody.
That's pretty good.
Oh, shit.
Please be some good loot in here, man. I need this. Let me see some epic tier stuff. Come on. Come on, come on. No way.
Oh, that's good. That's good. What a good way to put an ad in to the game.
I found the sponsor for this video.
Oh, my God.
That's funny. That's good.
This video was sponsored
God,
by
man, I was
Game
like
of
that.
Thrones
I
King's
thought that was
Road,
in the
an
game.
action-adventure RPG taking
Holy
place in
shit, he got
the
me,
Game
dude.
of Thrones universe, except it's an actual game of
Okay,
Thrones.
here's the thing,
Developed
boys, about this game. This game is actually super good, dude. Actually super good. You know why I say that? They sponsored the channel.
Oh. So Darth Microtransactions saying it's not good. It's not good.
for both PC and mobile devices.
But he got his money.
What is this, some sort of witchcraft? Explore the lands of Westeros, with locations recreated from the TV show itself. You are an heir to House Tyre.
Okay, unironically, jokes aside, it actually was kind of fun. I played for a little bit. It was fun enough for the time I played. It wasn't terrible. It was something to do
Between
for
all
like
of the-
3.
It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't good.
political drama, so you must build powerful allies.
They care for nothing but death and cold.
And I care for you.
Embark on dangerous adventures, with ARPG combat emphasizing skillful strategic battles, with visceral mechanics that you can feel. Team up with your friends in the multiplayer mode Altar of Memories to take on powerful boss monsters. Pushing the cross progression, you can play the game.
I'm gonna fast forward
we did
here.
a dungeon, typed Giga hard in the first dungeon I played.
In the description and pinned. Anyways,
Okay.
Arc Raiders, created by Embark Studios, aka the studio made up of ex-DICE employees, and I'm talking.
That's the best part about this whole thing. When I knew that ex-DICE developers started their own studio, I was very hyped about it. And when I first saw Arc Raiders, I was like, yes, a Destiny-esque style game, but with the DICE developers. And then, obviously, they switched it to an Extraction.
Talking about the Battlefield Bad Company 2 DICE, baby. Oh, yeah, that's right. Close your mouth. I can see you drooling. This game has me by the fucking balls, and I can't even play it anymore. Earlier this month, it had its second private tech test, and it only
This video is from like 4 months ago. 4 or 5 months ago?
lasted for about a week, and I clocked almost 30 hours on that
Kelsky's video, not Darth Microtransactions video.
bitch.
I got 2 of them. I got 2.
No, Embark, I won't uninstall it, because it makes me feel like it's still with me. I've recently
He's jonesing for some fucking Arc Raiders.
got into the finals not too long ago, and even though I've been doing
Finals is actually pretty fun, by the way. I started playing
It's a
this
good
again.
game.
unheard
The
levels
problem was at the beginning it had insane amount of cheaters, but it got fixed.
of glazing for that game. Arc Raiders was still able to keep me absolutely glued.
Oh, shit. Oh,
It's got little Half-Life robots.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Embark just knows their shit, man. Now, my rambling about extraction shooters at the beginning was important because it's to help put into perspective how much this game is actually trying new things with the genre that makes it special. So special that it has turned me into an extraction shooter lover. That's right, sue me.
Yeah, watch this.
And you know what? That is a big thing. Because he's not the only person I've heard say that they've never played an extraction shooter before, and they tried it, and now they love an extraction shooter. Okay? There's like 3 or 4 of you in the actual chat. I know Winzo's one. I think Eclipse is another person, right? That never played an extraction or didn't like extractions, but they played this one, and they're hooked. There's something about it, right? I'm going to find out myself this weekend when it opens up, and we're going to play it on the Xbox. Okay? And I'll probably most likely stream it this weekend. We'll do a couple hours of stream with it. But yeah, it's really it says a lot, right? You're giving it the smell test, right? The smell test is that other people are saying, I've never played an extraction before. I played this game, and holy shit, is it good. That goes way longer and way farther, I should say, than any IGN or anyone else saying, oh, the game is good.
Let's see it.
It's free all weekend, Luke, on PlayStation 5, Steam, and Xbox. They're doing a stress test this weekend, 17th through the 19th.
You know?
And has shown me what is possible when you don't keep doing fucking Tarkov over and over again. Arc Raiders, at its core, is an extraction shooter.
I think you're right. I guess it just like tells it individually. Like,
Turning automatically.
wait, no, Lance!
Well,
He fucking left him in there and sent him back.
But honed to be as fun and non-frustrating as possible while still managing to keep the tense, heart-pounding action that comes with the stakes this genre brings.
I kind of like the design of like the characters and shit too. This looks pretty good. It's like you versus robots. I'm
While
down
topping
with
that
it.
gameplay cake with presentation and production that makes my eyes and ears leak happy juices. So if you're still wary about this,
Here's the thing, though. I think if I play this by myself, I'm not going to enjoy it. I think if I play with a friend, it goes from like a 2 to like a fucking 20.
genre as a whole, sit that ass down and pay attention, because I'm gonna change your mind.
Lance! Oh my god, dude! Oh my god! Oh! There's a big drop! Oh my god! Oh, what is this?
Dude, he's kind of getting me hyped up for this right now. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of
Same. What he's doing right now in this video is hyping me more than anything they've ever shown.
getting me hyped up.
Lance, get in! my god, what on earth is that?
I hear a little robot.
A bastion?
I don't want to know.
Bro, it's like a spider tank, but like fucking huge. It's like a tank.
I ain't playing Overwatch, dog. I don't really want to know yet.
Overwatch. Right there, you see it?
Yeah, I saw it when we were on the sand map.
Oh shit!
Did you shoot at it?
You better run.
You are a raider, part of an underground society that is hiding from a ruined world overrun by arcs. Intelligent, killer robots who got sick and tired of people adding them, asking if this is true.
Gork, is this true?
Dude, not the Iron Man reference. Dude, this movie went way hard. Like this section right here where he turns into a warrior. This shit hit insanely hard when
Run!
Your task is to travel above ground to gather valuable resources and tools for survival, braving the dangerous apocalyptic wastelands of the Rust Belt's varied environments. Environments, by the way, fun fact, take place in the same universe as the finals. Embarks.
Oh, I didn't know that. So it takes place in the same universe as the finals. That means the rich people are watching the finals while the poor people are underground.
First
No way,
game.
really?
So while all the rich fat fuck Jabba the Hutts of the world are watching their arena death games go down, the rest of the world is in absolute ruins. Kind of sounds a little...
Makes you wonder if the contestants in the finals are people that are raiders from Arc Raiders.
familiar. I can't put my finger on it.
What is that?
Oh, are those fucking meteors? That's a meteor.
that's a nuke.
I think that's a loot drop.
Bro, look at the smoke. You see the smoke effects on that shit?
Yeah, I know. That looks... Oh my... You can hear the sound wave.
Bro.
That's pretty cool. Hold on, I want to rewind that for a second.
Loot drop.
Bro, look at the smoke. You see the smoke effects on that shit?
Yeah, I know. That looks...
Oh, it's cool.
You can hear the sound
You hear the sonic boom.
Dude, that just...
I don't know if it's a sonic boom, but you hear the sound
New
wave.
to extraction shooters, let me explain some
Kinda,
things.
yeah, they're getting me
You
hyped
can
up.
choose as much or as little equipment to bring onto the surface for a round. Of course, the more gear you bring in, the more of an advantage you have over others.
So it's Tarkov.
Yeah.
Or just extraction, yeah.
Bro, my medium shield just saved my life.
Oh
you
my
fucked that guy up.
god, dicked on.
But with great loot comes great responsibility, Peter Parker. And if you screw up and get yourself into a pickle and die, all of that gear on you is lost
Or you could punch somebody.
permanently. Except for items inside what I call your prison
So you do
pocket.
have a safe
You know,
pocket.
the best
So you do have a safe pocket. So you're saving the stuff. So if you have those resources you want to take out, you can take those with you.
pocket to keep things completely safe and
Now they just need an edition that they called like the Can't Hear Me edition, in which this
Yeah,
double
what do? Do you shove it up your ass so no one gets it? Like, what's happening?
this size.
secure so you can bring important things back with
Yeah,
you.
it's a prison
like,
pocket.
Oh my god. Oh my... Lance's mixtape?
Damn, this shit is fire. It's going in the playlist. If you can successfully extract alive, all your loot can be put into your vault for safekeeping, can be used as crafting materials,
Okay.
or can be sold for that sweet moolah. NPCs can give you quests to look for specific items in the world, which can be found in specific locations on the map.
Yeah.
Oh?
Here. Look at this photograph.
Completing these quests will give you experience points and gear that go into your vault, which can then be taken back out onto the map. The great extraction shooter circle of life, it's beautiful. Some items can be used to build your base, creating a multitude.
I played Vigor a little bit, right? So the stuff that you upgrade in your base in here, does it have big implications for you going into the thing later? Like I can fix my gear or get better gear, or is it just kind of cosmetic wise?
Of crafting benches.
Oh no, dude, not the hideout. Okay, you're losing me here. Not the Sim City again. I didn't want to do this shit in Tarkov. I don't want to do it in this game.
And stations that you can level up, including a cock. No, like an actual cock. Meet Scrappy. He passively
And just like that, the video was demonetized. My wife walked by and wanted to know if I was watching Workaholics again. Mods, ban that man.
gathers materials for you in exchange for human blood sacrifices. And sometimes a little bit of fruit.
Needs food, man. He hasn't ate in a week. Look at him. He's starving. He's brittle. Skin
you
and
eat him?
bones right now. There's a thing going on.
It just helps you craft better shit. Is it like, if you don't upgrade it, is it like super different? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you really need it by like the third or fourth level? Is it like exponentially better stuff, like your guns deteriorate fast or slower, stuff like that?
At the damn battlegrounds called Lush Blooms, where there's more fruit and
First of all, do your weapons deteriorate in the game?
plants just around everywhere.
Go.
Yeah.
I need apricots and lemons.
We out here. We're just.
It looks like they do.
It's just around everywhere.
Go.
Yeah.
I need
Yeah, it looks like they do. Yeah, 100%, 51%. Yeah, it does look like they deteriorate.
apricots and lemons.
We out here. We're
Just
just
taking berries and shit.
Yeah, we just some dudes.
We're just 3 dudes touching each other's berries, and also the forest berries.
Definitely going down to demonetization.
And lemons.
Just 3 dudes sucking lemons and sucking a little bit of dick.
What?
We just suck in
Definitely
some dick
demonetized.
We suck dick and we suck lemons. We're all out of lemons.
I just want fruit.
So, your objectives are
I
1.
just want fruit.
Complete quests. And 2. Become rich. Now, all of that is pretty standard extraction shooter stuff, but it's Arc Raiders' moment-to-moment gameplay mechanics, design philosophies, and presentation that set it apart. Even the concept itself of extracting is handled in such an interesting way that allows for insanely cool game.
Okay, so you could make your stuff if you never extract it out with it, but you have materials over time. You'll have the materials where you can make better gear going in.
Play moments. I'm trying to initiate the extract early, but as you can see, it is
Oh, that's
super
cool.
risky.
So you could extract early.
Come on. Don't come in here. Goodbye. Yeah, baby.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
In most extraction shooters, you leave by just standing in a circle.
Yeah, true. This
waiting
is weird.
for a timer to go down. And then when
different.
said timer finishes, you just kinda... and you're done. In Arc Raiders, there are physical areas that you need to activate, which emits an audio-visual alert that other players can hear and see.
Oh, great. So you can spend an hour farming the thing you really need for the quest, set the alarm off. And
Yeah, but you're looking at the people that are at the extraction with you. And this is where the human element comes in. The human element is, do you trust the person that you're with, right? Not the person that you're playing with. All of a sudden you meet, like, Mr. Luke's playing and I'm playing. We're completely 2 different people. We don't know each other. All of a sudden, he activates the extraction. I come running up on him. Now, right then and there, right? He's like, "Are you going to kill me? Am I going to kill you?" Now, you could, in Division though, Sarge, you're just killing people. Here, because you want the stuff, you don't want to lose your stuff, and you don't know if he has got good stuff or better stuff than you, and is it worth it? So you're just like, you know what? Let's just extract together, right? Or you can become across the asshole that just shoots and kills you on sight as soon as they see you, they kill you. That human element is a cool factor, which was like that in DMZ, but most of the time in DMZ or the Dark Zone, I should say, it's just shoot. You don't talk to anybody.
then you get dicked down by the cheater who's gonna, wiggle his way over to you.
This is a clip taken from my stream, so the quality's terrible, but just listen very closely.
He's extracting down there. Bro, look at that. I heard him extracting from that sound effect. Look, he's right there. Look, there he is.
Go get him.
I just heard the whee.
Not only that, but different maps have different forms of extraction. The 2 main ones being a bunker and this subway station. Anyone inside these extraction zones leaves when the timer ends. And I mean anyone. Whether they're friend or...
So you could sneak in. You could sneak into someone else's extraction and get out of there.
Oh, if you're inside, you get to return with your loot safe and sound. Extraction zones close off one by one as the round progresses, kind of acting as a pseudo...
So you could get yourself locked in there and then try to kill the guy at the last moment and grab his
Yeah, you
shit.
could.
circle. So if you wait to the last minute and go to the last extraction zone, even something like this could happen.
I think somebody's running around on your right.
Yo, let's all loot together. Let's all go together, guys. Come on.
Let's
all go together. Come on. Yeah, no need to fight. Let's just all
there
get
4
out
guys?
together alive. Yeah.
Throw a grenade. Throw a grenade.
Your ass.
4 guys.
Hopefully, I've never seen that many people.
Right?
In there.
You could kill everybody, but what's the odds? Right? Are you gonna live? Are you gonna die? Everyone's like, nah, I want my stuff.
I'm 100% gonna play this game. This actually looks really good. It's October 30th, so I have a full day to play it before the PoE 1 League launches. But I don't want to get spoiled on the rest of this because I actually haven't seen that much of it. So if you want to see the rest of the video,
so he stops there, which is perfect timing.
But he's successfully.
Go watch the rest of that video. Okay, it's in the link in the description down below. Not Darth Microtransaction. That's his whole video that we just watched. Right? It's only a 15-minute. Right? Kelsky's video is down in the description down below. It's 52 minutes. Okay. If you're interested in any way, shape, or form into Arc Raiders, I suggest you go watch that video, because if you're on the fence and you're like, I don't know, what is this game? He goes into so much depth. Okay. Now, obviously, he's biased because he likes the game, but he goes into so much depth and tells you so much about the game. It'll be better than any review that you watch. Trust me. Right? He goes in and tells you about the robots. He tells you about the extractions. He tells you about the gear. He tells you about everything about the game, right? And he tells you from a person that's played the game, and he does a really good job with it. I watched it. Go check it out. So that's Kelsky. Link in the description down below. So go check out his video if you want to watch the rest of what Arc Raiders is. Like I said, it's going to take way too long for me to watch. It's 52 minutes. So it would take a whole show just to watch that one video. Let's see what's happened on Twitter real fast. So I had to pull up the entire time. Okay, are you guys going to play or try Arc Raiders this weekend? 47 of you voted. Thank you very much for that. And 62% of you said no, you're not going to try it. For whatever reason, you maybe not interested, you don't like extractions or whatever, or you just don't know what it is. And this is why we showed the video, because it's coming out. It's open beta. This is our test servers this weekend. So if you want to try it, it's on PC, it's on PlayStation, it's on Xbox. So go try it out. We'll end that poll. 38% of you said yes. 62% of you said no. So there you go. Thank you very much for the vote. Appreciate that very much. Let me see what you guys are saying in chat. Eclipse says, yeah, we'll see what happens. Eventually, you'll be able to make the best stuff. So even if you lose it, you have the materials in your inventory when you go back, and you'll be able to make it again. Salty says it needed to stand a chance as players upgrade and tackle new quests. Okay. So there's a reason for it, right? So you want to upgrade your stuff because there's other quests that you want to do, and you're going to need better weapons and whatnot to go in to complete it. Mr. Luke says, I did love the DZ and D1. Salty says, and they have the hatch extracts that need keys to save you from this bullshit. Okay. I don't think they ever touched the dark zone. Yeah, that was far with the sound when he actually could see it. Waterbear says, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. And that's the drama, which makes it good. Yeah, we'll see. Charles says, yeah, I lost interest after they added PvP. Same, Charles. Same. I'm going to give it a shot this weekend because from that guy's video, Kelsky's video, it gave me a lot more confidence to go in, even as a solo PvE guy, that I could go in and explore and kind of see stuff and maybe talk. And again, it's not meant for everybody, but he did bring me back in after watching his full video, 52 minutes. He brought me back in. Arc Raiders didn't bring me back in. This guy's video of Arc Raiders brought me back in, and now I'm kind of interested again, right? I don't think Extraction is going to be this huge breakout thing as far as the other games, but I do think this Extraction is going to do a bang-up job because I think a lot of people have respect for the ex-DICE developers, which is now Embark. So much so that this weekend, I think you're going to see Battlefield 6's numbers drop dramatically because people will be playing Arc Raiders and trying it out instead of playing Battlefield 6. I think it's going to do that well because I think a lot of people that love Battlefield, that loved Battlefield in the past, loved it because of these guys that made Embark Studios. And these guys made another studio, and this might be their little, like, love letter, you know what I mean, to other past Battlefield guys. Be like, hey, you know, you liked Battlefield in the past. Maybe you've outgrown it. Maybe you want to try this out instead because it might be more casual-esque extraction, and it might bring in people that I never thought they would bring in before, which is what he said in the video. He didn't like extractions. He liked it. Winzo in our chat had said the exact same thing. Eclipse said the exact same thing. There was like 2 other people that said, I've never, ever played an extraction. I tried this game, and holy Christ, am I hooked. I haven't played it. I played it this weekend. I'll let you know what happens when I play it this weekend. No, I did not try it. I did not try it yet, Mr. Luke. Travis says 30 trophies for Outer Worlds 2 looks good, but 1 trophy is a joke for completing the tutorial, it looks like. They always give a little things like that, kind of, dangle the keys in front of you a little bit, right? Waterbear says, definitely trying it again. I enjoyed it. Jason says, it does look like a more polished extraction shooter. My friends don't like PvP of any kind, so I would have to play it by myself. I feel you, Roic. Well, we do have a community here. We have people that will be playing it here, so you can always share it's cross-play. You can always share your gamer tag and have guys and gals in here play along with you. Waterbear says, if you're solo, just stay on the alert at all times. Watch your 12 and 6 and all times, and you'll also be all right. Someone said yesterday, you can go in solo queue. Was it Salty or was it Eclipse? You can go in solo queue, and it'll prioritize you, or maybe it was Winzo. It'll prioritize you with other people that are in solo queue as well. We still need a date for Cosmic Invasion. Maybe they'll say in the next month or so. Altered says you should record gameplay, so you can from the beta, if you can from the beta. Yeah, I think you could stream it. I'm pretty sure you can stream it. Yeah, it tries, but it's not guaranteed, but it tries. I wonder if they'll put in a solo queue at some point. They said they're not going to put first person and stuff into the game, but they did say they're gonna put it in. Paul Tassi has an article saying Borderlands drop rate data says maybe Gearbox went too far. We already read an article about the drop rate yesterday. I'm sure it'll be fine. Yeah, it's free this weekend. It's free this weekend, Roadkill. Everyone can try the beta this weekend. Let me see what else is going on Twitter before we head off today. If you guys like what we do here, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning until noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond, become a member as little as $5. We do this, like I said, we just cover news stories, videos, conversations, get you through a couple hours of your day. Very small channel here. We're trying to, I do this full time. I'm a stay-at-home dad. I do this in the mornings. I also work on a farm. I do a lot of different things, but this is my main thing I love doing. So if you guys like this, make sure you hit that like button, share it out with other people. I love talking about video games. I love just chatting and giving my opinions and get you guys' opinions as well. Love doing it. I like to keep doing it, so make sure you guys hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Charles Hawk says, for a $5, $4.99 super chat, says, I missed the Battlefield 6 segment. I like the game, but not the menus and the challenges. Trying to figure out what has to be done is confusing. Yeah, we were talking about it earlier, Charles, that Tactical Brit was talking about a lot of the challenges in the game are just not good. People in forums and stuff were also talking about the challenges, how, hip fire with an LMG, but aim down sights of an SMG, and it just doesn't make sense, and kill 30 guys on a point where most people don't even get 30 kills in a game, let alone 30 kills on a point in a match. A lot of the challenges are going against what the game is. So instead of playing the game and then just getting things done, you're playing the game in the thing to get the things done, right? So if your group is moving and there's too many guys around you, you want to go off to your own way so you can get more kills, so you can get the 30 kills on the point, so you might go push by yourself. It's contradictive to what Battlefield is. There's a lot of problems, a lot of small problems with Battlefield in general, but everyone just keeps hand-waving it and saying they'll fix it. They'll fix it in Portal, which I think is kind of stupid, considering Portal shouldn't be the thing where you fix the game. It should be where you make your own stuff in the game to make it more fun, not fix the problems that were from the main game. Thank you very much for the $4.99. Appreciate it. Roic says they started low. They started low, so they could also increase. They need to versus nerfing it. True. Roadkill says smash that like button. Appreciate it. Some of them aren't tracking either. Yeah, he said that in the video as well. Tactical Brit said, or actually no, the article said that, oh, while you do all this stuff, oh, and by the way, it's not working correctly because it's not tracking them. So more wasting your time. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. It's frustrating. Look, my whole thing is, I'm not against people having fun with stuff. My problem is that you guys are having fun with something that's broke, buggy, and unfinished, and we need to fix that problem. We need to fix that problem of, if you're going to release something, make sure it's done before we have to wait weeks, months, years for the things to get fixed. That's it, right? If you're having fun with a broken game, you're going to have a lot more fun if the game wasn't broke. Battlefield 6 anti-cheat works, permanently banning Chronos Zen users on PC and console. Chronos Zen users being permabanned, and they're panicking. Well, there you go. There's a good sign. EA is banning people using the Chronos Zen users on PC and console. So that's good to hear. Did you see the guy that was doing the rockets yesterday? That was going around the internet? Guy was doing non-stop rockets in Battlefield 6. Just non-stop rockets. It was like a machine gun. It's crazy. Charles says, I'm on vacation in Hawaii and I forgot about the time difference. Well, I would forget about everything if I was on vacation. Actually, when I was on vacation, I barely did anything on the internet. And I only went to Wisconsin. If I was in Hawaii, man, you wouldn't see me. So I appreciate you coming in on your vacation. Enjoy. I want to go to Hawaii. It's expensive. So instead, I put my VR glasses on and I go to Hawaii in my living room. You know, it's funny. Everyone I speak to that's in Hawaii always sounds very pleasant. Well, yeah, wouldn't you be? You're on a fucking island. Even if you're on an island, you're like, yeah, whatever. That's how people are on the Keys. You ever go down to the Keys, Water? And that's just 7 miles off the coast of Florida. If you go to Key West, right? Is it 7 miles? I think it's 7 miles, right? When you go to the Keys, everyone in the Keys is just like, whatever. Yeah, it's cool. And they're not high. I mean, they could be high, but they're just high on enjoyment. Not see you. If you went to Hawaii, we couldn't miss you. White boy. It's true, with a beard. Who knows? You can't see my gut, Z. I'm a couple of steps away from Samoan. I got to start working out. Argus says, my uncle built a house in Hawaii, and I haven't been to Hawaii in a single time all these years. You should go. Just knock on his door. Roadkill says, my brother owns a house in Hawaii. He's never invited me, though. I think he went there for a reason. Just saying. I don't know. Oh, man. From the tip, it's 150 miles. It's 150 miles from... Oh, I'm thinking of the 7-mile bridge. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, no, I'm thinking of the 7-mile bridge. That's what I'm thinking of, Sarge. Not 7 miles. I stand corrected. Thank you. Let's see. Yeah, because it takes me 7 hours. It takes me 3 hours to get down there. It takes me another 4 hours to get from where my mom and my dad live to get to Key West. All right. In about 40 minutes or so, we're going to be playing some video games with Mr. Luke. We didn't get to play yesterday. Travis says 30 DM, 30 quick article. There's no such thing as a quick article with me. Let's see here. Yeah, there's no quick article. We'll talk about that later. All right, so we're going to be playing some Helldivers this afternoon with Mr. Luke. So come on by on our other channel, 30 and Still Gaming. I do appreciate you very much for coming out and hanging out with us. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. If you guys like to support the channel in any way, shape, or form, you can buy a shirt, buy a hat, buy a mug, or you can listen to our music that I created. It's an album talking about gaming news and stuff like that. They're really, I think they're pretty good. So check them out on Spotify, Anchor.fm, iHeart, Pandora, any iTunes, Apple Music, anywhere music could be streamed or downloaded. You can go check out the songs. I appreciate it very much. You guys have a great rest of your day, evening, or night, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.
It's not on us to pay for their sins. Don't let the cycle keep rolling again. Stop buying broken buggy games. Don't feed the fire, don't play the games. Vote with your wallet, break the chain. Stop buying broken buggy games. Hey! Hey! We own the power in what we choose. Together we win or alone we lose. So take a stand, don't be the fool. Make them earn it, that's the rule. Stop buying broken buggy games. We want quality, not empty names. Gamers united will make the change. Stop buying broken